Hey guys, and welcome back to Love Tangle. Last time we left off after the pool party with Joy, Nolan, and Miguel. Nolan flirted with us pretty heavily, and now we're at dinner at Carlo's place with just Miguel and Nolan this time, trying to figure out more about their friendship. So let's get started. What did you tell her? That you got on your knees and begged to be my friend? I never did that, you moron. Don't you believe anything that comes from his mouth when he's drunk? It's okay, I don't believe that for a minute. But then the conversation naturally turns focus to their lives. We talk about their high school, how it was an escalator school, all the way from their elementary level. They tell me how it's a prestigious school that's been known to produce all sorts of celebrities and stars. Since Miguel joined in high school and was from a normal family, he got all sorts of attention. Everyone knew he must have been special to get in with a scholarship. Everyone talked about him. But they still called Nolan the school's mascot, all the way from elementary school. He was at the top of the list all the time. Their mascot of such a famous school? Just because of my father's influence, mostly. I hated when they called me that. I moved around and switched schools so much. I can't even imagine being with one school for that long. Yeah, all the way from elementary school? Wow. It's clear that they're both pretty amazing people, though. By the way, having a few drinks in him, Miguel is much more talkative than usual. Aw, is he blushing? He's so cute. Back in the first year of high school, the swim captain was all jealous because I beat the regional record. He was like, "You're a filthy commoner," to me, but then Nolan came in. He told him, "You sure talk a lot for someone who lost to him," which shut him up real good. Miguel does his best impression of Nolan and laughs. You really said that? It's funny how closely their stories resemble each other. You weren't even there. How can you even claim to know what I said? Flustered, Nolan rushes to defend himself. You were the school mascot. Everything you said got around. You also said Miguel works hard and earns his success. I respect him for that. Miguel goes on, imitating Nolan's voice, which only makes the man himself cringe. Well, I think that's touching. It's nice that they respect each other so much. They became friends. Actually, it makes me kind of jealous. I don't remember saying that. It was only 10 years ago. You haven't forgotten it yet, Nolan. Shut up, you're drunk. Miguel wraps his arm around Nolan, who quickly brushes it off. They have such a cute relationship. Looks like we're all having fun here. Carlo appears between them, patting them both on the shoulder. Are we being too loud? Are you kidding? This place closed a while ago. Huh? He's right. There's no one in here but us. It's that late? Sorry, I didn't even notice. My bad. We'll get out of here fast. No, you don't. You're all always so busy. I bet you never get a chance like this to talk about the past. You were listening? That's not very nice of you. How could I not? Come on, I'll drive you all home, so let it slide. I don't think so. You'll need to cough up some Chateau Margaux if you want me to forgive you. I like that, Nolan. Bring us a nice vintage on the house, will you? I might have some, but that stuff ain't cheap. Miguel and Nolan sure are getting out of hand. Stop it, you two. Don't cause him any trouble. I try to stop them and help the poor man. On the other hand, I wouldn't want to look cheap in front of the lady. It hurts to give it away for free, so let's make it a little more interesting. Something happens I doubt any of us could have expected. What do you mean? I'll flip a coin, and the winner gets the bottle, plus a date with Kayla. Carlo, wingmanning it. A date? What's that for? Hey, wait, don't get me involved in this. I may have eavesdropped, but you're more at fault because you kept them yapping. That is true. That's baloney. I'm willing to play. The little wager takes one step closer to fruition. Wait a second, I never said I'm okay with this. But the three men give little attention to my protests. Let's do it. Carlo flips a coin in the air. Heads. Tails. Oh my gosh, why? I swallow the lump in my throat as the coin spins through the air. I've got to go on a date with Miguel or Nolan, based on the flip of a coin. What am I going to do? So that's the end of the chapter. Look forward to the next one. Now, Kayla, we got a big game going on here. The coin is still up in the air. When the coin comes back on my hand, you're going to find out who you'll be dating with. And it's either Miguel or Nolan. Well, I'd be glad if you chose me, but we got some rules here, you know? And you've made your decision already, haven't you? Hey, Kayla, heads or tails? Which side do you want? Tails, Nolan. Carlos really stirring things up here. Okay, so here we are. Nolan Arvin Zarzak Jr., the elite lawyer. Be more confident because you are the one I choose. Let's start a story. Bring it on. Yay, we're finally in his route. Nolan, main story, chapter 5. I like the blue color too. Here I go, whichever way it lands, no whining from the loser. A clink sounds as Carlo flicks the coin with his finger, flipping it into the air. Heads, tails. Carlo snatches the coin from the air and slowly opens his palm to reveal it. Ah, in his hand, shining faintly in the dim candlelight, the coin is showing tails. When the next weekend rolls around, I find myself waiting for Nolan at the Lilac Court entrance. I never thought he would actually go through with it. Here I thought Nolan was just in it for the bottle of wine. The previous night, I was passing through the lounge when Nolan stopped me. We'll do it tomorrow. Do what? Carlo's bet, remember? Don't tell me you forgot. What? Are you being serious? Nolan shoots a disgruntled glance at me. In my line of work, I always keep my words. If you're so much against it, tell Miguel and Carlo you've broken the contract. Oh, he looks so sad. Contract? Really? Since when did this become such a big deal? Fine, tomorrow it is. We'll leave at 10 sharp tomorrow morning. Wear something you can move around in. Wonder what we're doing. So I guess we're doing it after all, but I wonder why he wants me to wear clothes I can move around in. Soon enough, Nolan pulls up in his car and steps out. Get in. He orders bluntly, pulling open the passenger side door. Thanks. I can't decide if he's being nice or rude today. Still, opening the door for me is a courteous gesture. Moments after I climb into the car, Nolan drives us away. Where are we going? You'll see when we get there. He responds coldly. Isn't this a date? At least you could pretend to enjoy it. Are my clothes gonna be okay? I'm sure what you're wearing is fine. He states without taking his eyes off the road. You didn't even look. This time he glances at me briefly. You'll be fine. He responds in an irritated tone. This doesn't feel like a date at all. He just seems as reluctant as ever. I hope the whole day doesn't turn out like this. He must be taking us horseback riding. How romantic. After driving for nearly an hour, we come upon a pasture full of horses. Whoa, it's so spacious here. Riders bounce leisurely about the wide fields atop a colorful array of horses. Just being surrounded by animals and nature is enough to soothe my heart. It's just so green and scenic here. I love it. Come on, we've got to talk with the front desk. All right. While I'm standing there lost in wonder, Nolan marches hastily away without me. Why is he always in such a rush? Anyways, I guess I better use this opportunity to get to know him more. I scurry to his side and ask Nolan a question. Let's see. Why come to a horse club, or do you like horses? I think do you like horses would tell us more about him. Do you like horses? So, do you like horses? If I hated them, why would I even come here? True. I wish he wasn't so curt all the time. Are you trying to say you're not pleased with my choice? No, not at all. I love animals. Then don't complain. I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised that you like animals. I don't really, but horses are an exception. Besides, isn't it common sense on a date to go somewhere we both like? What's so funny? Nothing. I still don't know if he's being mean or nice, but at least he's looking out for me. Don't laugh by yourself. It's creepy. Come on. Nolan glances at me as if appalled before making for the clubhouse. I follow behind him to the front desk where the lady working there hands me some writing equipment. Is this all for me? What about his stuff? Mr. Zarzak's equipment is stored in his personal locker. Huh? She knows his name? What's this about a personal locker? Is Nolan a member here or something? Just then, Nolan comes walking out of the members' locker room, having already changed his clothes. So he is a member. Wait, isn't this room reserved for VIPs? What are you waiting for? Hurry up and get ready. Okay. I balance on one foot at a time to slip my shoes off and put on the boots. But doing so, I lose my balance and go tumbling forward. Nolan thinks it was the best choice. Good, we made a good choice. Nolan lunges forward to stop my fall and proceeds to roll his eyes at me. Can't you even change your own shoes? He kneels down in front of me and gently slides the boots onto my feet. The touch of his tender grip around my calves makes me shiver. Well, this is embarrassing. I never thought he'd end up helping me with my shoes. But thanks. What moron tries to change into boots standing up? Even though his mouth goes and ruins it, he really is a gentleman. When we're both done changing, we leave the clubhouse together. But wait a second. I leave a few of my belongings at the front desk and then hustle to catch up to him. Where are you going? The riding area's over there. The stables? He swiftly makes his way inside and comes to a stop in front of a lone horse. Wow, it's so pretty. One glance at his glossy black fur is enough to know this horse is well loved and well groomed. The horse neighs and nuzzles happily against Nolan's hand. Nolan gently strokes along his face. Never before have I seen Nolan act so gentle and sweet. So he can make a face like that, at least with his horses. This one's mine. Are you serious? His statement catches me completely off guard. Why would I be lying? What's his name? Datemund. The horse lets out a whinny as if answering to its name. What a lovely name you have. It's perfect for you. Hearing the compliment, Datemund turns to me and nudges my face. That tickles. I see you're good with animals, though that doesn't surprise me. Ever since I was little, they've always taken well to me. Not just animals, but children and people too, right? I bet you got stopped by people all the time asking for directions. Huh? How did you know that? I mean, he's exactly right. Who do you think I am? Like, you have to know animals for your job, I have to know people for mine. It's easy for me to tell what someone's like just by talking with them for a while. I see. To know all about me so easily, it's no wonder he's such a good lawyer. What are you like then? Or that's one impressive horse of yours. Let's say, what are you like then? What are you like then? Do strangers on the street stop and talk with you too? All too often, I'm afraid. So you get along with people too? Not exactly. My face is in the media regularly, so everyone who stops me just wants something. Oh. Yeah, it couldn't be because he looks friendly. I almost forgot Nolan was famous. Though at least animals don't seem to hate me. Datemund neighs in agreement. Hey, I want to see Datemund running. Can you ride and show me? That's what we came for. Nolan's eyes squint as he smiles. Since he basically never smiles, seeing that face of his makes me melt. I didn't know he could make a face like that. Fortunately, Nolan signals to the stable boy and walks out without at all noticing my staring. Today, I think I might get to see a whole new side of Nolan. He straddles Datemund and the two are soon galloping away. Whoa, he looks so dashing right now. I'm watching him ride with admiration when he makes Datemund trot directly my way. Hop on. Nolan deftly slips off the saddle and gracefully dismounts at my side. No way, I haven't touched a horse since riding with my father when I was tiny. What do you think we came for? Besides, I never said you had to ride alone. Does he mean we're gonna ride together? Put your foot here. Nolan points to the stirrup. Okay. I follow his instructions and slip my right foot inside the stirrup. Your left foot. Ah! I figured Nolan might be a little bossy. I quickly swap my other foot in the stirrup while Nolan holds it out and supports me as I mount. I somehow got on without falling off, but it sure is high up here. Scoot forward a bit. Huh? I slide forward a little more and make space enough for Nolan to squeeze behind me. Hey, it's so cramped. Cramped, more like uncomfortably close. Can't help it, it's just a one-person saddle. Nolan says matter-of-factly. It's hard to concentrate since he's pressing against my back. Besides, his arms are wrapped around me to hold the reins. I pull myself forward, squeezing the saddle horn with all my might. It's like he's hugging me from behind. I glance over my shoulders and look back at him. Nolan's staring at me, his handsome face much closer than I initially expected. What? Oh, nothing! I twist my head forward, hiding my blistering red face from his sight. Meanwhile, Nolan nudges his horse with his feet and makes Datemund pick up the pace. Aren't we going a little too fast? You're the one who wanted to see Datemund run. I know just by the tone of his voice that he's having a grand old time teasing me like this. I wish he would just cut it out. I said I want to see Datemund running, not while riding him. You're just so darn picky. He talks while chuckling, slowing our pace up to a comfortable canter. Now this I can handle. I soon get used to the height and speed and can start enjoying the sights and breeze against my face. It's been so long since I last rode a horse. I forgot how good it feels. It's like all my stress and worry is floating away. Yeah, that's why I come here. What was that? I turn and ask, his quiet utterance carried away by the wind. Someone as confident as Nolan even gets stressed. It seems odd that someone like you would get stressed out, Kayla. Huh? I was just thinking the same about you. Don't act all full of yourself now. Nolan snorts while urging the horse to go faster. Who's full of themselves now? Jeez. I hold onto the saddle horn as the horse gallops faster. Though the nice thing about Nolan is that he'll see through me if I try, so I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not. After some time of riding around together, let's stop and let Damon rest for a while. Good idea, I'd bet he'd love a break. Nolan hops off the horse, holding the reins in one hand and extending his other towards me. I take Nolan's hand and swing my leg over the horse, only for him to spook and rear himself backwards. Whoa! I'm falling. I tumble straight for the ground, but instead of crashing, I float harmlessly in the air. Kayla! Nolan cries out in a panic and scoops me into his arm. Although he has a slender frame, his arms are surprisingly strong and stop my fall. Are you alright? His usual cold gaze is gone, now replaced with worry and fright. I'm fine, just a bit scared. Thanks, Nolan. Sure thing. He lowers me to the ground unexpectedly gently. When he treats me so kindly like this, my quiet heart begins to pound madly. Now all I can think of is the warmth of his arms. Hey you, be more careful. Why aren't you paying more attention? Nolan, I'm not sure if you're yelling at me or the horse. Both of you. You're too light for your own good. Damon probably had no idea you were still up there. Uh-huh. That's no good reason to get mad at me. Come on, I'll put Damon back and then we can stop by the cafe. Nolan turns away, leading Damon off towards the stables. Nolan, wait for me! I take it back, he's not nice at all. I chase behind him in a frantic hustle to catch up. After that, we settle into the rustic cafe and sit down for a late lunch. When our meal is over, Nolan stares pleasantly out at the window, at the prancing horses while sipping on some tea. Have you ridden horses since you were small? Yeah, I started a little before elementary school. It's a nice hobby. I wish I was better at it. It was my father's hobby at first. Huh? Your father's? So that famous lawyer father of his rides horses too? He doesn't even ride though. He only comes to meet rich clients. Huh, that's a twisted reason to come. Twisted, yeah. Growing up with him must have twisted me too. I wonder what that means. It might be rude to pry into his family life though. Though I hesitate to ask, Nolan decides to fill me in anyways. My father was always tough on me with regards to education. Not just studying either. He took me all over to learn in his free time too. There was horse riding, tennis, golf, yachting, clay pigeon shooting, the list goes on and on. That sounds like a good father to me. It's good for children to have so many experiences. Well, it sure looks that way when you don't know any better. Nolan speaks with a bitter smile and continues. When I was little, I thought my father truly loved me. I was proud that everyone called me Nolan Jr. and wore it like a badge of honor. But as I grew older, I realized what my father was up to. What was that? He had me doing all these things just so he could make connections with rich people. Nolan says with a cringe. He couldn't do any of that on his own, but it was normal if he brought his kid to learn. From the outside, it looks like he's a family man, willing to go all over to give his son the best upbringing. Shows how clever he really is. Unsure about whether to speak or not, I decide to wait patiently for him to tell me more. As soon as I figured him out, I hated being called Junior and distanced myself from him. Now that he mentions it, maybe that's why they spoke so formally to each other at Les Miards. I thought something was strange then, but I couldn't quite nail it down. But then I went and became a lawyer in his footsteps. Now everyone calls me Junior and it's infuriating. But don't you like being a lawyer? I don't feel one way or another about it. I just do it. Well, did you have some sort of reason for becoming a lawyer? Reason? Nolan sighs, giving it some thought. If I had to name one, it'd be so that everyone can call me Nolan. That's your reason? That doesn't seem like any reason to become a lawyer. Childish, isn't it? I know. Do you mean you want to surpass your father on the same playing field? Yeah, you're a smart one. It only means something if I can top him as a lawyer. I don't even fully understand the reasoning myself. But I want to be the one called Nolan, not him. He can deal with being called Nolan Sr. I'll make it happen, and soon. But you're Nolan to me, and everyone at Lilac Court too. I know. The people at Lilac are the only person who call me that. Could that be why Nolan hasn't moved away? I mean, he's probably famous and rich enough to own a house or even a whole apartment complex of his own. I've always thought it was strange for him to live with people considering he seems so standoffish. Mr. C has done a good job bringing in a respectable crowd. When he smiles, I feel like I can understand him a little better now. When we leave the horse club, the fields are painted orange in the glow of the setting sun. Is that all for today? I'm gonna sleep so well tonight after all that riding. I stare out at the orange haze as the car skirts along the mountainside path. Wait, did we come through the mountains on the way here? I think curiously while the pavement rushes by. Nolan finally parks the car at the summit of a small mountain. Ah, so gorgeous! Nolan stops the car and leads me to a breathtaking view. Okay guys, so we will pick up next time with the premium story of the ending to this date, and I can't wait to see what more surprises Nolan's route will bring. Hope you guys are excited to be along for the ride, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching.